Hello everybody, and a very warm welcome to LMT YouTube channel.
Prince Harry and William share private chat as they walk away from Philip's emotional funeral. The tender moment came after they stood apart to walk behind their grandfather's coffin and were sat separately in the chapel. It appears they stuck to their word to put their differences aside after a turbulent year to focus on mourning the Duke of Edinburgh. After months of distance sparked by Harry's move to the US and an explosive Oprah interview, the brothers came together after the poignant service. Harry was seen talking with William and the Duchess of Cambridge as the group left the moving funeral. The brothers walked together for several minutes, moments after watching their grandfather's coffin lowered into the vault at St. George's Chapel. After filing out of the service, they bowed to the Queen as she was driven away in her Bentley before Harry and Kate struck up a conversation. As the mourners left the chapel, William was seen hanging back to let Harry and Kate catch up to him. The princes strode side by side, with Kate on Harry's right, before they pair overtook the Duchess. They looked deep in conversation while glancing at each other often. The heartbreaking day marked the first time Prince Harry was seen in the UK since his bombshell Oprah interview. The royal joined the 29 other mourners chosen to attend the stripped-back service. Prince Harry and Prince William reunite at grandfather Prince Philip's funeral. Prince Harry and Prince William reunited for the first time in more than a year at the funeral of their grandfather, Prince Philip, on Saturday. The brothers joined other members of the royal family, including their father, Prince Charles, in walking behind the Duke of Edinburgh's coffin during the procession to St. George's Chapel at Windsor Castle. Instead of being positioned next to each other, their cousin, Peter Phillips, the son of Princess Anne, walked between them. The procession order was a practical change rather than sending a signal. A Buckingham Palace spokesman previously said, "This is a funeral and we are not going to be drawn into perceptions of drama. The arrangements have been agreed and represent Her Majesty's wishes." Last Sunday, Harry returned to the UK from California for the first time in over a year to attend his grandfather's funeral following the Duke of Edinburgh's death at the age of 99 on April 9th. Harry has been quarantining at his Frogmore Cottage home in the UK. Meghan Markle, who is expecting the couple's second child, a baby girl, did not accompany her husband. She has been advised by her physician not to travel, a royal spokesman said. In the wake of Meghan and Harry's interview with Oprah Winfrey last month, there are ongoing tensions within the family. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the Duke of Edinburgh is being laid to rest surrounded only by a guest list of 30 close family members and friends. Former palace spokeswoman Ailsa Anderson tells LMT Channel in this week's issue. Ironically, it is probably how he would have liked. No fuss, no bother. Right through his life, he never knew what all the fuss was about. The princes did not stand shoulder to shoulder behind the Duke of Edinburgh's coffin as they walked from the castle's quadrangle to St. George's Chapel, and were instead either side of their cousin Peter Phillips. The Duke of Cambridge entered the chapel one place ahead of his younger brother, and the brothers were seated opposite one another during the service, with William next to his wife Kate Middleton. It had been quietly hoped that the loss of their beloved grandfather, who both men loved deeply, might start the process of rapprochement. But the brothers are unlikely to have even seen each other before the funeral. William and Harry were among 9 members of the royal family who walked behind their grandfather's unique coffin this afternoon, leaving the sovereign's entrance at Windsor Castle at precisely 2:45 p.m. Today marks the first time Harry and William have been seen together since March 2020, when they attended a Commonwealth service at Westminster Abbey with other royals and could barely look each other in the eye. A Buckingham Palace spokesman said, "We are dealing with a family funeral, and at its heart it is still a family event."
Turn! Sword!
The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge were pictured being driven to the castle this morning from Kensington Palace. Kate was dressed all in black with a netted veil covering her face mask. She is also wearing a stunning pearl necklace belonging to the Queen. Meanwhile, William looked somber in a black suit and black tie, teamed with a face mask. His dad, Prince Charles, was pictured in a Tesla arriving at Windsor Castle with wife Camilla. Princess Beatrice and husband Edoardo Mapelli Mazzi have also been driven to meet with the family ahead of the funeral. The proceedings started at 11 a.m. today when his coffin was moved from the private chapel to the inner hall of Windsor Castle. Philip's casket is covered with his personal standard along with his sword, naval cap and a wreath of flowers. The coffin was moved by the Queen's Company, 1st Battalion Grenadier Guards, where Philip was a colonel for 42 years. From there, Philip will be placed in the modified military green Land Rover. He spent 16 years adapting to take him on his final journey.
Another analysis.
Prince Harry may be banned from this historic funeral tradition. Prince Harry has returned to London for his grandfather Prince Philip's funeral. The small ceremony is taking place Saturday, April 17, 2021, at St. George's Chapel at Windsor Castle. If the location sounds familiar, that's because it's the same chapel where Harry married his wife, Meghan Markle, back in 2018. However, this occasion is far more somber after the Queen's husband sadly passed away on April 9th at the age of 99. While Harry will be once again reunited with the royal family, for this unfortunate reason, things will be much different than they were at past events. This is the first time the Duke of Sussex has returned home since he and Meghan officially stepped down as senior working members of the royal family at the start of 2020. They then moved to Canada and are now in California with their young son, Archie. Harry and Meghan made international headlines when announcing their decision to step down from the royal family and leave the UK. They later spoke about it all in a bombshell interview with Oprah Winfrey, where Meghan and Harry revealed shocking things about the royal family, including a family member raising concerns over what Archie's skin color would be while Meghan was pregnant, as well as the former Suits actor revealing she was suicidal and didn't receive help from the family. With that said, tensions will presumably be high once Harry is reunited with his family. Yet, besides potential bad vibes, there will also be some other noticeable changes. Prince Harry may not be able to salute at his grandfather's funeral. Prince Harry may not be the favorite in the family right now, but that's not why things will be visually different. As a result of Prince Harry's decision to step down from the royal family, he was stripped of his honorary military titles, such as Captain General Royal Marines. And with that comes changes in how the Duke of Sussex is expected to act at future royal events, including Prince Philip's upcoming funeral. Sadly, this means he may have to miss out on the historic funeral tradition of saluting. This is because protocol states that only those wearing a military headdress can salute. Since Harry has lost military rank, it's expected that he will not salute at the funeral, unlike Prince William and Prince Charles, who have military titles of their own. Additionally, unlike his brother and father, Harry is expected to be wearing a suit. In the past, the Duke has been seen in military uniform at certain ceremonial events, but now that he lost his titles, he is expected to not be in uniform for his grandfather's funeral. That retired service personnel are allowed to wear their medals, but not their uniform, at official engagements once they have left the military. So perhaps that means Harry will still be wearing his medals. Either way, we have a feeling Harry is aware of what's expected and will know what to do. Prince Harry isn't the only royal family member who may not salute. Prince Harry's attendance at Prince Philip's funeral will definitely be something worth watching, especially after Megxit and that juicy Oprah Winfrey interview. Despite the rift with his family, the Duke of Sussex was still able to get an invite to the event, which, due to COVID-19 restrictions, will only include 30 people. Harry's wife, Meghan Markle, will not be joining her husband for the funeral, but only due to doctors' orders not to travel this late in her pregnancy. But it's not just Harry who may have to change his behavior at this particular event. Prince Philip's son, Prince Andrew, is also expected to not be wearing military dress at his father's funeral, despite serving in the Royal Navy. This is because he was forced to step away from public life for the foreseeable future due to his friendship with the late alleged sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. If Andrew isn't in military dress, then, per protocol, he may not be able to salute at the funeral either. With all that said, we're sure Harry doesn't mind the new rules, and is probably just happy to pay tribute to Prince Philip, whom he described in a statement as simply his grandpa, master of the barbecue, legend of banter, and cheeky right till the end. And knowing Harry's knack for breaking tradition these days, we'll see if he even follows what's expected to begin with.
And so on to other news, and
here's what Prince Harry may be forbidden to do at Prince Philip's funeral. When Prince Harry and Meghan Markle stepped down from their senior roles as royals last February, Harry was stripped of his honorary military titles. In addition to impacting how Harry can dress and act at official events, in the future, royal protocol may also prevent Harry from honoring his grandfather in a particular way. Prince Harry won't be able to salute at Prince Philip's funeral, as he no longer has his 3 honorary military titles. However, he still retains the titles he earned during his 10 years in the British Army. Since he's no longer in the military, the prince is allowed to wear his medals at the funeral and future official engagements, but not his uniform, and only those wearing such a uniform are allowed to salute, according to royal protocol. Harry is likely to attend in a black suit instead. As for what this will look like, the prince wore a suit with his medals to mark Remembrance Sunday at a U.S. cemetery last year. These included the Queen's Golden Jubilee Medal, an Afghanistan Operational Service Medal, and the Queen's Diamond Jubilee Medal. Prince Charles and Prince William may still salute. Prince Charles and Prince William will still be able to salute at the funeral, as they remain working members of the royal household. Although, there are reports that William may opt to wear a suit to avoid a rift. According to a royal expert, Richard Fitzwilliams, this is obviously very sensitive. Anything that distinguished the brothers in that way, which would be so obvious for anyone watching, would probably be avoided. The whole thing we do not want is any form of rift. A dress code for those attending has not been made public, but it wouldn't be surprising if this were done, as Fitzwilliams suggests, to ensure that the spotlight on this very, very important day is where it should be, and that's on Prince Philip and the truly remarkable achievements of someone with superhuman energy who did so much for Queen and country. Senior male royals are expected to forego military attire. A last-minute stipulation allowing senior male members of the royal family to not wear the standard military dress, in order to spare Prince Harry the embarrassment of being the only one left out, was approved by the Queen following heated debates over who would and would not be doing so at the funeral. Prince Andrew, who stepped back from royal duties following a highly publicized scandal surrounding his friendship with convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein, and a disastrous BBC interview that only made matters worse, wanted to wear an admiral's uniform for the occasion. Although the beleaguered royal wasn't stripped of his titles, he hadn't actually become an admiral yet. Everybody will now wear regular mourning attire. Prince Philip himself, meanwhile, is due to get the full military send-off in line with his service in World War II. The event will be scaled back due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic, but will still stand in stark contrast to his family's comparatively low-key attire. Likewise, although the funeral would ordinarily be a massive public event, it will instead be held according to the rules currently in place. Prince Harry is isolating in preparation for the funeral. In accordance with the restrictions, Prince Harry is currently isolating at Frogmore Cottage with his cousin, Princess Eugenie, and her husband, Jack Brooksbank. The Duke of Sussex arrived home on April 11th and is quarantining in Windsor before joining the rest of the royals for his grandfather's funeral on April 17th. Harry and wife Meghan Markle previously lived in Frogmore, but gave the property up when they defected the royal family, a source said, adding, "Frogmore Cottage continues to be the Duke and Duchess of Sussex's residence. In the UK, they are delighted to be able to open up their home to Princess Eugenie and Jack as they start their own family. Meghan will not be attending the funeral, since she's currently pregnant with her second child and has therefore been instructed not to travel. Brooksbank will not attend either, in order to keep numbers down, which is the same reason Prime Minister Boris Johnson also won't be there." The BBC reports that current UK rules limit funerals to just 30 guests, so Johnson is opting out in order to allow as many close family members to attend as possible.
check out one of our newest videos right here, plus even more LMT videos about your favorite stuff. For coming soon, subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.
Stop.